Woke up quick, dropped the truth by noon. Just know I gotta arrest Barack Obama soon. I gotta expose the coup before the day begins, before the fake news buries all my wins. I checked the files and damn near went blind. Comey and his boys are staffing almost every line. I ran to the desk and grabbed my grip with a smoking gun on the side of my hip. Obama, you're an asshole. Lies and racism your whole life. Your legacy is pathetic, and a man calls himself your wife. Barry lied, Comey tried, Hillary Clinton's interns died. Obama, you're going home. The Russia hoax, the dossier. You said you're sorry, but I don't care. Obama, you're going home. Well,
If your team followed orders, then why was Trump's campaign under surveillance?
Well,
You ordered their surveillance, didn't you? Because that's what you told your team to do. And when it started to unravel, you threw your staff under the bus. You falsified classified memos to cover your tracks. You manipulated the intelligence reports. Former President Obama, did you order the surveillance of Trump's campaign?
Obama, you don't have to answer that!
I'll answer the question. So America wants answers.
I think America's entitled.
America wants answers?
America wants the truth!
America can't handle the truth.
Hey, is that Obama up there?
All right, guys. We're here because the unthinkable has happened. Trump's victory threatens everything we've built. Question is, what are we prepared to do about it?
He's a wrecking ball, Barack. The American people were manipulated. Russia or not, his presidency is a disaster waiting to unfold. We can't sit idly by.
Mr. President, our assessments before the election were clear. Russia wasn't using cyber attacks to sway the outcome. The data was sold. But now you're asking us to rewrite the narrative?
I'm not asking, Jim. I'm directing. The public needs to see a threat. Something tangible. The question is legitimacy. We need an intelligence community assessment that says Moscow interfered.
Jeez!
What's wrong?
Is Trump ever gonna do something?
He's going to. It's just going to take some time.
Well, I just feel like we've been spying on him for so long and nothing's happened.
You got to have patience, Christopher. We almost got him this time.
Well, I feel like we've almost had him for the last 6 years.
Yeah, but this time, we almost got him. So,
Well, don't you think there's more important things we could be investigating right now?
like what?
I don't know, maybe Hunter, maybe Hillary, maybe Epstein's client list?
What are you talking about? That stuff's not important at all.
It's not?
Of course not. Have you ever seen me tweet about it?
Or come to think about it, no, I haven't.
Exactly. The only thing we need to be focusing on right now is Trump.
Hang on, let me go get the phone.
Just let the machine pick it up.
But what if it's something important?
Hey, there's nothing more important than spying on Trump.
You brief the FBI. We're extremely busy doing really important things. Seriously, leave a brief message and we might get back to you.
Hello, FBI. I've got some
Should
really
we
important
answer?
evidence that you need to see immediately.
The number you dialed is not
Those damn
in service.
telemarketers. Bailed outside and Diamond stopped prepping. Just as I thought, the snakes kept stepping. Jumped in the beast, hit the gas on a ride. I trooped up and down and side to side. Then I let the briefing play. Pumping raw leaks from the NSA. It was treason at the top of the list. Then I dropped my own post. It went something like this. Spied on me, yeah, you tapped my phone, but Kevin Brennan made the call, yeah. The stroking rice when Comey self, yeah, you tried to take it all. Pfizer lied 100 times.
All right, Mueller, what'd you find?
Yeah, let's see what that $32 million bought us.
Well, my investigation, Crossfire Hurricane, followed by a special counsel probe, looked at every angle of the alleged Trump-Russia collusion.
So, what's the outcome?
Well, we indicted 37 individuals, secured 7 guilty pleas, and uncovered Russian interference through social media and hacking of Democratic servers.
Well, that's good, right?
Well, here's the thing. We found no evidence that Donald Trump or his campaign conspired or coordinated with Russia.
You what?
I found no evidence Trump or his campaign colluded with Russia to influence the 2016 election.
No evidence? Ha, Robert, we were told the Steele dossier had damning details. Secret meetings, Russian support for Trump. You're saying none of it held up?
The dossier, funded by Hillary's campaign and the DNC, had unverified, uncorroborated allegations. The FBI couldn't confirm collusion.
Oh, I heard she makes the most amazing chili dogs.
Oh, she does, but they kind of taste like
So how are you two lovebirds doing?
Couldn't be happier.
And what do you guys do to keep the love going?
Well, we golf a lot.
Michelle golfs?
Oh, yeah.
Is she any good?
Oh, yeah, you should see her swing her wood around.
And she has her own clubs?
Yep.
And she's got her own balls, too?
Yeah, she sure does. 2 of them.
Has she ever gotten a hole-in-one?
Oh, yeah, she gets a hole-in-one every night.
Wow. With that many hole-in-ones, her balls probably get pretty dirty.
Oh, yeah, she's always washing her muddy balls.
Well, you guys sound like you have a really good relationship.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she still leaves the toilet seat up, which is confusing, but hey, that's marriage, right? A car pulls up, who can it be? A blacked out van, it was Hillary C. She rolled down the window and she started to say,
I've been taking tranquilizers at Obama's.
Spies in the swamp, a lion hawk.
Evidence keeps circling back to decisions under your watch.
Robert, you were paid to investigate Trump.
Yeah, we didn't pay you to investigate us. We paid you to investigate not us.
Well, this can't get out. If people think we manufactured this, what's next? Prosecutions? And, just to make sure, you spell your name with 2 L's, right?
You ever lied to a country, Miss Gabbard?
No, sir.
Ever balanced global alliances with drones to take out threats and use racism to control the narrative?
No, sir.
Ever had to make calls that keep Democrats safe while trying to fill your bank account with taxpayer money?
No, sir.
My team always followed orders, Miss Gabbard. They followed orders, or the Democrats failed. Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
Are we clear?
Crystal. But I do have one more question before I call Hillary Clinton and Peter Strzok. If you ordered your team not to spy on Trump's campaign, and your orders are always followed, why was there a Crossfire Hurricane investigation at all?
Well, there were concerns about foreign interference.
But that's not what you said. You said there was no interference. You told Clapper no cyber attacks altered the election.
That's what we assessed in 2016.
Yet you pushed the Russian narrative. Why?
It was a precaution.
Here's a story of a guy named Barry who was spying with some very dirty friends. There was Brennan, Rice, and Clapper at the center, pushing all their shady friends.
Because Obama!
Good evening, everybody, and happy Friday. Thanks for tuning in to the United Spot. Unfortunately, I only got a couple more weeks left, so I'm going to be as positive as I possibly can. You guys are absolutely incredible, and thank you so much for being here today. On a sad note, even worse than my own personal problems, you know, because it's always got to be all about me. Poor Chuck Norris passed away today, and I know a lot of you know that, but you know, the crazy part about that, he was like the Betty White, but you know, in the male version, and a lot more tougher, and could do a roundhouse and beat up Bruce Lee. But I mean, this guy was basically he became a living legend before the internet even turned him into a meme. I mean, he was like the ongoing meme of like absolute toughness. I mean, you know, I even made a meme today because I know that deep down, even though Chuck Norris is gone, smiling down at us, he would want people to be happy. He would want people to continue his legacy of memes. And so I had to join in and say, you know, Chuck Norris will be carrying his own coffin today. You know, and it's true because that's the way he lived. I mean, the last thing he ever said was, "I don't age, I level up." That's just, I mean, the only, I think what's even worse than you know, obviously losing, you know, Chuck Norris, is the fact that, you know, Chuck Norris was 86 years old. I mean, how does that even happen? You know, and I'm speaking to the people, you know, obviously that, you know, have been around since 8-track, but my goodness gracious. When you sit there and think about it, I mean, that's how fast times goes. Chuck Norris was 86 years old. Chuck Norris. I mean, just yesterday, the guy was Texas Walker. I don't remember how it went. Texas Walker. He was there with that one guy. You know, I think it was the guy from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Texas Walker, Texas Ranger. That's what it was. But goodness, 86 years old. 86 years old. Goodness gracious. Time goes by fast. That's why I always tell everybody, you know, it's like, you know, and a lot of you know that. I mean, I'm just the echo in your already common sense mind. I'm just that guy that is thinking the same exact thing you're thinking. It's not that I know any more than you. I'm just echoing what you already think. But, you know, I tell people this all the time that, you know, life, a lot of people don't realize it, you know, because they live in the now and, you know, invincible and, you know, nothing could. It goes by so fast. And I think we really need to calculate what's most important on our daily bingo card. Like, well, I'm going to sit all day and argue with other people that don't necessarily exist, you know, in the real life form. But I'm going to sit here and argue back and forth and get pissed off and feel my blood pressure rising as my heart goes boom, 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 boom. And obviously, you know, the end result is nothing. Nothing gets handled because the majority of the people that you're arguing with are probably just laughing their asses off that they made you that upset. But I mean, gosh, look how fast life goes. It goes so fast. I mean, you're sitting there, you're just trying to hold on to the rope, but the rope is just like, wow. Anyways, Chuck Norris. I mean, you know, and he wasn't just an actor. I mean, he was a 6-time world karate champion, which obviously I love martial arts. Been involved with martial arts a long time. He was like a pioneer in martial arts, you know, and he stepped into Hollywood and it became an action hero. I mean, it was inevitable. You know, I mean, at least he could speak. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you had a hard time listening to him. You know, Jean-Claude Van Damme, you know, he was very difficult to hear what he had to say. They were all great athletes, but you couldn't understand. And then you had Steven Seagal. Anyways, and then Rocky. I mean, you caught me, Mick. I mean, just that's all I could hear is Adrian, yo, Adrian, and caught me, Mick. Other than that, you couldn't understand it. So Chuck Norris was not only a role model, you could understand it. He was just incredible. But you could tell like there was probably that point of his life back in like the 70s, you know, with that big hairy chest. You know, he probably wore them gold chains. You know, he probably got himself into a few situations, you know, with some oils and some massage, you know, music and, you know, maybe a couple different, you know, yeah. Anyways, you know, it rhymes with Inglaja Pra, you know, but yeah, I mean, to becoming he became like a phenomenon. He became like a phenomenon. And he was also pretty much politically outspoken. I mean, he supported conservatives, you know, big time. He backed Republicans, and he even endorsed President Trump. And you know, aside from all that, you know, which is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a really guy. He was also a really good guy. But President Trump, Chuck Norris is dead today. You know, he called him a great supporter and a tough cookie. You know. So, you know, that's exactly what you would expect. You know what I mean? That's exactly what you would expect from President Trump, you know, because, you know, in the end, you know, obviously death is inevitable. It's something that we may not all look forward to, but it's something that we all have in common. There's nothing that you could ever say that would ever even kind of argue the fact that no matter how different we are, we all share the same thing. Every last one of you, even grasshoppers, even fleas, even hamsters. We all share that same thing, is that it's nothing is forever. It feels like it, you know, especially like when you're a kid, you know, when you're a kid, time really feels like it's forever because your brain is so new. It's like a brand new iPhone, you know, and it's learning, you know, and so days feel like months, you know, you're like, wow, summer, man, it's forever. Now that you're older, days feel like hours, you know, and the more time that you spend on stupidity, the faster your day goes, you know, and it goes, and there's nothing you can do about it. Honestly, the best thing you could ever possibly do to slow down time is hang out with your in-laws, you know, Just hang out with your in-laws. You want time to slow down a lot? Go to your in-laws' house, okay, and just sit there. Just sit, and I guarantee you that clock won't move. That clock won't move an inch. So enjoy. But politics. So, anyways, I did. I'm not the kind of person. Even if I followed them or been a huge fan, they pass away. I didn't have any connection to him. I know a lot of people take celebrities passing away like really like I've known people. I gotta call in. I can't do this. I'm just I grew up with him. I understand. There's a little bit. Like a knee jerk, but I'm not gonna sit there and start crying. It's not me. I've never been that way. But people are gonna. I don't know if I could feel something like that for something that I've never actually met or touched or given a hug. It's just not me. But hey, we're all different, right? I mean, I do cry if I drop my hot dog on the ground because I can't even afford a hot dog. So I will cry if I drop a hot dog. But politics. But anyways, a lot of it's pretty sad though because it's kind of like a double whammy because number one, we lost somebody, even though he was getting old. I mean, the guy was almost 90 years old. I mean, how much more could you possibly do? Even though he was doing it. I mean, he was doing it. But we also lost a really good motivational voice, So, but 86 years, come on, seriously, that was freaking awesome. But the other side note to it too is just like, gosh, dang, I can't believe that Chuck Norris was 86 years old. I mean, what are you going to tell me next? Jennifer Love Hewitt can sing? Yeah, actually, she can. She sings pretty damn good, too. So, anyway, right now, in the situation with Trump and Iran, it's kind of escalating, which, is driving the liberals crazy and all the recent Trump haters, that used to say that they were MAGA, that they were all on board with President Trump. They were 100% for like the last 8 years. And then all of a sudden, like the flip of a switch. See, this is where it all gets real tricky, right? Because all these huge influencers, that have obviously been doing this and earning a living with all of their millions of followers and their, all that stuff. It was like a switch. As soon as that switch hit, all of them at once, like they were all being paid by the same person. Weird, right? And then guess what happens when something like that happens? All the weak-minded people follow their brave influencers. They follow them into the depths of Avalon. And so now, once again, we create a new division. Now people are divided. And this is so much worse than the whole Ron DeSantis thing. I don't know if many of you remember the whole Ron DeSantis split, when that created so much division. I lost a ton of followers when I started making fun of Ron DeSantis. It was all playful humor, but holy cow, did we get divided on that one. Now people are just dividing Trump. I mean, they're just like, it's just like, and then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene showing her lovely feet. You might want to look that one up, by the way. I think she's giving Maxine Waters a run for her money. I don't know if anybody's ever seen Maxine Waters' feet, but look up Maxine Waters' feet. And then actually, just go to my Facebook page and you can vote because I did a thing where who has the most beautiful feet, Maxine Waters or Marjorie Taylor Greene. I tell you, those are some slippery little suckers. Anyways, so the situation with, obviously the U.S. is currently in a major military conflict with Iran. Okay, so people need to look that up before they come to these sudden, just conclusions like, oh my gosh, Trump, he said no. Okay, look, President Trump has never been about war. He doesn't like war. He's a businessman. He's a deal maker. If there was a way that he could have avoided war, trust me, Trump was the guy to do it. Unfortunately, this was for the safety of a lot of things. And, America, obviously, number one, but there was a lot of things at play here. So nobody's really listening to that point of it. They're just thinking, oh yeah, Trump, he made all these promises. Oh, gas expensive. Oh no, my influencer doesn't like him anymore, so I have to go with my influencer. But so some are already calling this a full-on scale, like a full-on scale war. Trump has basically described it as a massive and ongoing operation, which is completely different than war. Okay. He's saying that the goal is to eliminate threats to America, which is what you want your president to do. You don't want your president to put you in harm's way and then start shoveling a bunch of money to other countries. But the part where that should get your attention, he's already talking about things like, regime change, possible ground troops, and even demanding what he calls unconditional surrender. Okay. Now, I don't know if you guys remember what happened in Afghanistan with Joe Biden, but that was pretty bad. I mean, it's like, here, just leave Americans there. Here's your hush money, and some tanks and weapons. Yeah, we're good, right? Okay, I'm Joe Biden. Dairy Queen's giving out free ice cream. So, but at the same time, polls are showing a lot of Americans are not on board with how this is being handled. Well, that's life. That's life. I really want to learn that song. I believe that's Frank Sinatra. So what you're watching right now is just obviously another political split, a division tactic, or Nancy would call it a smear campaign. Well, public opinion obviously is not exactly lining up. So, but it is what it is. You can't get everybody to agree on anything unless, it's, I really don't know what you could possibly get anybody I don't know exactly what you can get everybody to agree on. It's just, I don't know. But, there are some other things that the FCC is warning broadcasters about how they cover this war. Even Elon Musk has let his people know, if you're gonna make these generated AI slop videos, you need to kind of put a disclaimer on it, because there are some weak-minded people out there to be like, oh, dude, it's totally real, man. There was a cat totally launching these missiles, dude. Whoa! I'm like, whoa, this is all Trump's fault, bro. It's pandemonium. We got cats and hamsters launching rockets. It was all part of Trump's master plan. And it's true. It's true. But there have been threats about pulling licenses over what's being labeled as fake news. Weird. Fake. But I don't know. I mean, it's crazy to go on a Twitter. I still call it Twitter because it's just I really don't understand the name change, but X. I mean, it's just like they could have called it Exeter or Exeter. Ooh, Exeter. Ooh, I just said that. It just came out. Exeter. Ooh, I like that. That's mama like it. It makes me all moist when I'm thinking about it. Exeter. And that, but they still haven't changed it in the App Store, which I would like to tell to the people out in this country, because a lot of people get really pissed off, not just at the United Spot, but in general. They're like, yeah, dude, don't ever do YouTube. Don't ever do Facebook, bro. They're all liars, man. Don't support them, man. Go to X. That's free speech. Well, here's my point with that, okay? A lot of people feel that way. They really do. They won't go on YouTube. They won't go on Facebook. They'll go on X. But what I've tried to explain to a lot of people, I've lost a lot of followers because they don't know how to follow the bouncing ball. And if you don't know what the bouncing ball means, it's like basically like a sarcastic, abbreviation of stupidity. It's like, watch the ball hit each word so you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. What I've tried to explain to people for many, many, many years is that regardless of I said regardless, but regardless of how you feel about a certain platform, whether it be YouTube, Facebook, True Social, Gab, Getter, Parler, TikTok, Instagram, OnlyFans, Grindr, Craigslist, eBay, Amazon, or X. What you need to realize is that a majority of those, including YouTube for one, True Social for two, Facebook, Instagram, and X, guess where they're all at? In the App Store. And who do you think controls the App Store? And who do you think controls the App Store? That's what I wanted. Nobody really gets to that point. I lose them at that point. Who do you think controls the App Store? Because if you don't follow the rules of the App Store, then your app won't be in the store. You have to follow the rules, okay? So I hope you guys understand what I'm talking about, because it's very, very, it's an icebreaker. It's an icebreaker. And you know what? I'm going to play a video real quick, and I'm going to come back, and I'm going to talk about that, because I feel like I need to explain it in more of an in-depth. But I would also like to beg for money, because all I need is a miracle. No, I'm going to do it in my own. All I need is a miracle. All I need is money. Yeah, so if you guys could do me a huge favor, the GoFundMe for the United Spot, so I don't get shut down here in the end of the month, because if I do not reach my goal because of 2 YouTube suspensions, which is 2 strikes, 2.5 weeks off of YouTube, which completely drained anything that I was ever going to make from YouTube. So unfortunately, I'm requesting from my my supporters. I think I might have explained it. I can't play it because it's copyright, but there's a scene in Trading Places where Dan Aykroyd goes to the country club after he's been arrested. Obviously it was a lie. It was set up. But he goes in there, and that's how I feel. I feel like I'm dressed in these these handout clothes from the jail, and I'm like walking into this rich country club, and I got a bruise on my face, and my hair's all a mess, and I'm just look horrible. And all these rich people are sitting at their table, at their country club, and they're singing songs, eating lobster, playing tennis, just enjoying life. They all smell good. And here comes stinky old United Spot, like, hey guys, I wish, I was, and they're all calling me Winthorpe, and, I'm just asking for money, like a small loan, and then, it just, that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. But so, yeah, I mean, if you guys got $1, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, seriously, $1. That's like Sally Struthers 2.0. Like, seriously, $1 right now, $1. That's it. $1 to help the United Spot reach its goal. I'm not asking for like 20 or 50 or 100. $1. $1. And I don't need like $1 million. I just need enough to where I'm on track again. Everything's fine. And then poof. So, but with that being said, I know they're all like, yeah, dude, good luck. I'm not donating $1, dude. Your videos suck, bro. I'm just here to watch you fail, dude. I'm just here to watch the sink. I'm just here to watch the boat sink. That's it. But yeah, so let's finish this video real quick, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to explain to you my feelings on why there needs to be a little bit more discussion about the apps in the App Store, because it does make a really, really good argument. So I hope you guys enjoy the videos. And the GoFundMe link, if you're on X, it's right there at the top, right next to the profile. It says GoFundMe. And then if you're on YouTube, it's right there. It's right there at the top of the thing. It's right there. But all right. Anyways, I've said too much. Let's get back to the videos. And thank you guys, seriously, for being here. It means a lot. You guys, aside from my wife and my kids and my dogs, you guys are the best part of my day. And I really would hate to lose that. You guys are an inspiration to me. So But here we go. Ready?
Mama, you're going home. Obama, you're going home.
Hi, everybody. It's your favorite bartender turned congresswoman coming to you live from the future of sustainability. Guys, we only have like totally 8 more years left on this beautiful planet before it's like game over. Like the ice caps are like totally melting faster than my iced lattes. So we gotta like totally act now. That's why, as part of my new Green New Deal 2.0, I've invented something like totally revolutionary. Something that's like totally never even been invented before. Introducing the Solar Night Cord! Behold, the Solar Night Cord, the only power strip that like totally plugs into itself. This state-of-the-art power strip lassos solar energy from the sun at night. It's revolutionary. It's physics. You're probably thinking to yourself, how did like a bartender create such an amazing product? Well, it's because I'm like a scientist. Duh! This bad boy will totally end cow farts forever. It also teaches America what a garbage disposal is. Plug in your leftovers. It's an instant grid of power. No more landfill confusion. Education by electrocution. And it also unites the 3 chambers of Congress, House, Senate, and your living room outlet. One plug to rule them all. Gridlock? Nah, it's just the grid power. Bipartisan juice flowing like cheap beer. It even works under the equator, wherever that is. And for only 3 payments of just $19.99 a month, or 3 payments of tax the rich, this baby could be yours. But wait, there's more. The first 100 callers will like totally get my latest invention, a free inflatable dartboard. And for only $14.99, you'll receive my next invention, the air-conditioned sauna. Act now, and I'll even throw in my never-before-seen invention, fireproof matches. Act now, people. We only have 4 years left.
Breaking news! Prince Andrew has been arrested!
Back to you, Bob.
Oh, goodness, Bill! Prince Andrew's been arrested!
Sucks to be him.
If he talks, we're done!
Oh, yeah. That ain't good.
All those flights, those meetings. I told you to stay away from that island!
Hey, it's gonna be all right. Hillary, settle
How
down.
exactly is it gonna be all right, Bill?
Well, Andy's a royal screw-up, but he ain't no rat. Besides, I didn't do nothing wrong. I just ate some delicious pizza. Ain't nothing wrong with
Bill,
eating pizza.
You ate 14-year-old pizza!
I know, and it was so good, too.
Answer the phone, Bill, but be careful. I'll handle the rest.
Slick Willie speaking. How can I help you? Of course I'll accept the charges.
Bill, you bloody traitor! You ratted me out to the FBI, didn't you? I knew it! All those questions they asked me, they were straight from your playbook!
Whoa, Andy. I didn't say a word. I swear on cigars and my saxophone. We're in this together, buddy. Remember?
Together? You left me hanging, Bill! If I go down, you're coming with me!
Come on, pal. Let's not forget the good times. Remember all those trips in the island? Epstein's Paradise, Sun, Sea, and Service with a Smile?
What are you talking about? This isn't the time for reminiscing,
Bill,
Bill!
keep him talking. Ask him if he wants you to send him a pizza with extra cheese and a map with some sauce.
Remember that one time you ordered extra cheese on your pizza? Man, you were insatiable. More cheese, more cheese. We laughed for hours. Good old times, Andy. Good old times.
Extra cheese, Bill? Are you wearing a wire? This sounds like a setup. Are you recording this? Are you?
What? No. I'm just I'm just being friendly.
I don't trust you, Bill. You're setting me up. I know it.
Well, that went well.
I got it all on tape. If the feds come for you, this clears your name and throws him under the bus.
Well, Bill's out. Time for the big guns. Hello, Reid Hoffman speaking. Reid, it's Andy, Prince Andrew. I'll keep quiet about the ice cream, but you have to keep quiet about the extra cheese. Hello?
We're sorry.
Reid?
You have reached a number.
This is Howard Lutnick. How can I help you? Howard, old chap, it's Andrew. Help me out here. I'll tell them everything if you don't. The whole shebang.
We're sorry.
Hello?
You have reached a number.
This is Steve Bannon. How can I help you?
Steve, it's Prince Andrew. We need to talk strategy. Epstein stuff, buddy. Steve?
We're sorry. You have reached.
Bill Gates speaking. How can I help you?
Bill, buddy, remember the island? Help a prince out, huh? Bill?
We're sorry. You have reached a number that has been disconnected or is no longer in service.
Prince Andrew, what happened on Epstein Island?
Hot dogs and pizza and sauce.
Oh my!
Pasta and cheese and ice cream.
Oh my!
Walnut and map and cheese.
Oh my!
Never mind about the breaking news. Prince Andrew has been released from jail. Back to you, Bob. I got a great idea.
Really? What is it?
I'm gonna run for president.
Boy, that is nightmare fuel right there. Goodness gracious. Okay, so back to the App Store real quick. I want to explain something real quick because this is a conversation you guys could be having at Thanksgiving or Christmas to really spruce things up at the dinner table with the family. Okay, so what I was trying to explain earlier is that people are constantly saying like platforms like Facebook and YouTube are censoring speech, right? And they're controlling like the narratives, they're anti-free speech. And a lot of people go as far as saying that they're destroying America with, you know, their tactics, right? But that's just a claim. I'm not saying it's true. But this is where I kind of like, you know, step back and go, wait a second, wait, hold on. Because a lot of the same people saying that, okay, they're downloading and using apps like True Social or X, like I said before, right? From the exact same place, the App Store. Okay, let that sink in for a second, right? Let that sink in, right? Is it getting there? Because every one of these apps, Facebook, YouTube, X, True Social, they all exist under the same gatekeeper, right? Apple, right? And if you're on Android, same story with Google Play Store. Okay, right? So here's the question that none of these people ever want to hear because they're in their little sheltered, you know, teepees. If the system itself is corrupt, then why are all the apps allowed to exist inside of it? Think about that. Seriously. If there was some grand coordinated effort to silence one side, why would apps like True Social or even X be allowed to be downloaded in the App Store? But listen, all right, so Facebook is censoring, YouTube is censoring. These platforms are controlling speech. They're biased, they're dangerous. That's what they're saying, right? Okay, I hear you. I'm part of the chopping block. I get censored all the time on YouTube and Facebook. I don't know if it's a direct censor or if my videos are just horrible. I don't know. I even have problems on X, okay? Because I'm stupid. I don't know how to think for myself. But let me ask you something real simple, okay? Listen, let's just, what is the App Store? Anybody? Because the App Store isn't just some random list of apps. And like I said, it's not just apps in there. There's a lot of stuff in there. If you ever go into the App Store, you find some weird stuff, like weird stuff. Okay, it's a controlled marketplace. Like I said, it's a gatekeeper, right? Every single app you download onto your iPhone has to be approved by one company, and that's Apple Inc. Right? They review it, they decide if it meets their rules, and they decide if it stays or gets removed. All right, and then the same thing, like I said earlier. It goes with Android with Google and the Play Store, right? So whether you're Android or Apple, doesn't matter. It's the same exact thing, right? If an app exists, so I just want to say that. I just want to say that one more time. If an app exists on your phone, it exists because of Apple or Google and because they allowed it to be there. Just think about that for just a second. Just think about that, right? All of these horrible places that people talk about are all in the same place. And you're downloading from this place. Okay, so here's where the argument starts to fall apart, for me at least. Okay. If people believe there is like this massive coordinated effort to silence certain voices, then why are all of these platforms still sitting side by side in the same store? I hope you understood it. I mean, why is True Social allowed? Why is X allowed? Why is anything allowed that challenges the mainstream narrative? Because if the system was truly designed to eliminate one side completely, those apps wouldn't even make it past the front door. So, listen, I believe truly that it's just targeted silence. I think it's targeted silence. But it's still silence. But I just want to be even more clear, okay? Because I'm not saying, like I just said right there, I'm not saying that it like censorship doesn't happen, because it does. You know, posts get removed. I mean, I'm living proof of that. I had two videos removed, and I was given 2 strikes in a matter of 3 weeks. Right, two and a half week suspension. So I understand it. Videos get demonetized. Accounts get limited. Yeah. Algorithms, obviously, the algorithms, they basically decide what goes viral and what disappears. Okay, let's just say that the algorithm doesn't like the United Spot at all. That's real, and it's not even just me. I'm just look. Don't think this is all about me. This is my party, but this is not just happening to the United Spot. It's happening to a lot of people. Okay. But listen, so here's the distinction that people are not making, right? There's a difference between platform level control and system level control, okay? Platform level control is when like Facebook or YouTube decides, look, we don't like this content, so we're going to limit it. Pretty much what they do to me at the United Spot. And a lot of people like the United Spot. System level control would be, this app shouldn't exist at all, right? And that's a completely different level of power, right? And right now, we clearly don't, we don't have full system level suppression, right? Because all these competing platforms are still available to everybody. It's to everybody. Now here's the part that makes people really uncomfortable, because even the platforms that market themselves as free speech platforms, right? They still have rules. They still moderate. They still remove content under certain conditions because they have to, because they exist inside the same ecosystem, right? Just like, okay, you're okay. So let's take America, for example, right? Okay. Land of the free, home of the brave, you know, free speech, all that, whatever, you know, you want to call it, right? You know, it's land of the free, right? Do whatever you want. But in America, if you step into somebody's home, right, and they tell you to take off your shoes, and they tell you that there's no cursing in their home, you need to abide by those rules, or you'll be kicked out of that home inside of America, if you understand what that means. No different than if you go into Disneyland, or if you go into a movie theater, or shit, if you even go into Walmart, you have to follow a set of rules while you're inside of America. So it's like rules on top of rules inside of a box. You know, it's just crazy. But this ecosystem is controlled at the top by companies like Apple and Google. And it's not the politicians that they claim. I think politicians have influence. Okay. But, you know, so when people say this app is evil, but this app is the solution, I kind of sit back and go, you know what? You're still playing inside the same sandbox. You know, just a different corner of it. You know, like with all the cat poop. And I think that's the bigger truth that people don't really want to deal with. You know, it's not about escaping the system; it's about understanding the system. Because the real power isn't just, you know, in the apps you argue about every day. It's in the infrastructure that allows those apps to, you know, exist in the first place. You know, so before you point fingers at one platform and act like it's the root of all problems, we should probably ask who controls access to all of them. Because obviously I have my own personal problems with YouTube. You know, I love the fact that I'm able to create content and upload content and you know, express myself. But I'm also limited to what I can post. It's not like I'm going to be posting horrible stuff, but I shouldn't have to feel terrified. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells for posting comedy videos. And on top of that, comedy videos that are exposing truth that is already all over the internet. It's over all the TV and radio. It's public knowledge. It's not anything that nobody knows about. And I shouldn't have to worry about losing everything that I've worked so hard for because of that. I shouldn't have my channel that I've worked so hard demonetized. You know, these programs are designed to help content creators fund what they do. That's the whole point of it. That's why YouTube gets paid and the channels of YouTube get paid. Obviously, YouTube is going to get paid more, which is fine. I don't care. I just, I would like to at least earn some revenue and fund what it is that I do, because what I do takes a long time. Not, it's funny. I laugh at a lot of people, and I'm not poking fun. I'm just being realistic. I'm being extremely realistic because, there's a lot of people out there who claim to be content creators, and it really, it annoys me. It doesn't piss me off. I'm too tired to get pissed off anymore. But it irritates me that I'll give my personal story, which is a story that many, many content creators are sharing. It's the same story. So I'm just talking about myself. There's other people going through the same exact thing as me. But when you get accounts that don't create content at all, they just share shit. They just share people's stuff, or they upload other videos that they didn't create, or they upload pictures that they got off the internet. And I mean, a hamster could do this, right? And they sit there and like, yeah, dude, I totally understand what you're going through, man. I deal with it every day. I'm like, what do you deal with every day? Like, seriously, I can't believe we're even having this discussion. You deal with that every single day? And I mean, it's completely disrespectful to say that. That would be like a guy that sits there on his ass all day long at the job site, right? All day long at the job site, sitting there just scratching his ass and doing nothing, throwing rocks or whatever, while the real workers are out there hammering and doing something, getting sweaty and working hard and completing a project, right? And then at the end of the day, the guy that was just sitting there all day goes, oh, man, right? Huh? What a day, guys. Okay, that's how I feel. But anyways, so once you realize this conversation is a lot more complicated than just Facebook bad or X is good. It's really way bigger than that. It's way bigger, way bigger. I know I got a little off topic there for a second, but if we're going to have an honest conversation about free speech, we've got to stop thinking at the surface level, okay? Because the surface level is just going to take you into the wrong grifting influencer channel. Because once you go down a grifting influencer, you're screwed. And if you start believing what they, you gotta look at who actually controls the doors, and that's the real conversation. I mean, it's a real conversation to have because nobody really talks about it like that. Here we have all of these apps that everybody communicates on, that are all being monitored by the same people who are not really wishing well for America, if that makes any kind of sense. But boy, I sure do talk too much. Jeez, I'm sitting here talking like everybody's probably asleep. I didn't even say hello to everybody. Gosh. Skippy Tarbuckle, how you doing? Hank Star is here. Yukon Man, great to see you here. Teacher Lynn is here. Hopefully you are feeling better. Thank you for being here. Achilles, LR, Yukon Man. Last night you left me an incredible gift, and I am just very thankful. So thank you so much for that. I truly appreciate it. You're just incredible. I just don't even know what to say anymore. It's like, and I'm trying not to cry, obviously, because Yukon Man has been like the biggest sponsor of the United Spot. So I mean, technically, he's bought my uniforms and he's bought my bats and my baseballs and my cleats and everything for the whole team. So it just like, but also too, I wanted to say thank you to the other people who have supported the United Spot, that were able to, and that's a huge thing, because like I couldn't even donate to the United Spot. I couldn't even do that. So, and also too, I wanted to say thank you to the people that have done memberships, super thanks. I want to thank the people that have subscribed to the United Spot and watched my videos and shared them out and liked them and left comments. And you have to understand something too. The comments that I read, I may not get back to them all because I'm just the one guy, and there's so many comments. I'm serious. I could read them forever because it's like literally motivation fuel, and that's why I'm having such a hard time believing that my videos don't get seen on a larger scale. Because if you read the comments, like you don't even not even barely, you never even see comments like, "Oh, dude, you suck. Go away. You suck, bro. Dude, just, end it, dude. You suck." I'm like, wow, everything is either in agreement with the video or people are laughing or just putting up laughing faces. You never see anything like, "Dude, United Spot, dude, why don't you go into walking? Why don't you walk into oncoming traffic, dude?" Nothing like that. Nothing like that. So why is it that my videos aren't allowed to reach a larger, oh, wait a minute. Now I know why. Oh, maybe because my videos, even though they're stupid, annoying, and silly, they have a very big point that would resonate with a lot of people because they're very easy to absorb. You see, my videos, okay, the reason I created videos like myself, the reason I came up with the United Spot is because I was tired of seeing people get drilled by journalists, fake journalists, by the way, acting journalists that were just reading a script that was prepared by somebody else. And because they learned how to read good, it sounded real. But none of these journalists, or actors, as I like to call them, people that have been on TV, in movies, okay, they don't believe what they're saying. They're being paid to say something, okay? I was tired of seeing that. I was tired of explaining to people what common sense was. And it's so hard to listen to these people because it's so serious. And coming up next, breaking news, an exclusive happening now. Radar. It's like it's too in your face. It's too dramatic. It's too stressful. Dude, I'm sitting here trying to enjoy my night, and I got this asshole ramming all this shit that I don't understand down my throat, using big words, sounding all professional, and I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. But when I watch the United Spot, I get it, because the United Spot is a moron, and he explains everything so clearly because he's a moron. So it's like everything that I never understood, the United Spot clearly does it because the dude obviously wears a helmet. Okay, he can't think for himself, so he's got to break everything down like he's a moron, and that's what I do, and I do it well. There's a lot of smart people in this country. A lot of smart people in this country. Very, very. They were just literally born with common sense. The sad part is that there is a lot of unintentional stupid people, and I say that with a full amount of respect because it's not intentional. And I use stupid because it's the definition. I'm stupid, very, very stupid. The government, or whoever else you want to say, is responsible for creating a life pattern for us, a daily process, to where we do not have enough time to learn anything that would put a chink in the armor of the government. Okay. They don't want us to research old interviews. They don't want us to have time to read policies, a 12,000 page policy. They don't want us to read bills. They don't want us to do any of that. They want us to follow the Kardashians. They want us to watch, Desperate Housewives. They want us to go to Billy's softball game. They want us to go to Jill's, volleyball game. They want us to memorize commercials. They want us to memorize songs. They want us to bow down to football players and baseball. They want us to know the stats of every single baseball player and football player and basketball player and soccer player in the world. But they don't want us to know anything about senators, congressmen, or even who the leader of the FBI is. Okay. Now I'm going to tell you a funny story that you could do. You could film it, or you can not film it. It's just a little social experiment. Walk up to anybody you know who you think is smart, right? Who you've always said, like, wow, you know, this guy Johnny, man, he's really got his shit together. I look up to this guy, right? Okay. I want you to walk up to this guy. And this is a guy that you think is like really smart, like really got his shit together, like he's gonna know, right? And you walk up to him and say, hey, who's your congressman? I guarantee you he won't even know what the hell you're talking about. Or walk up to him and say, hey, who's the director of the FBI? Or who was the director of the FBI? Walk up to him and ask him how many senators there are. Ask him how many congressmen and women there are. Ask him anything that has to do with that. Ask him anything that has to do with any of that. I guarantee you know what he's going to say. Love and marriage, love and marriage. You know, yeah, he wouldn't know. He doesn't know. I've done that to almost, and I'm not trying to be a show off. I'm not trying to be egotistical. Because of 19 years working with the same company, and they dropped me like I was a sack of Pelosi shit because I wouldn't put a needle in my arm and wear a mask and gloves. I was fortunate enough to take it upon myself to believe in the United Spot to where I can stay home and research and investigate and watch old videos and read policies and study something that a lot of people aren't able to do. And I said I was going to take this opportunity to do this, and I was going to do it because I believe in this, and I want to spread common sense, but I want to do it with humor, right? So now I'm able to walk up to all my friends, family members, and I ask them little trick questions, you know? I asked this one guy, this is the guy who I always really liked. His name's Gary. Love this guy. He's a great guy. I still love him. I still real athletic, you know? Just always says something funny, but he believes everything on the internet. Everything. He was sitting there like, hey, dude, did you hear that Trump's giving everybody $35,000? I'm like, are you being serious right now? He goes, oh, yeah, dude, I read it, bro. 35,000. Everybody's getting it, bro. I'm super excited, bro. I'm going to buy a new. I'm like, dude. Gary. It's not going to happen, buddy. I'm sorry. Not everybody's not getting $35,000. So I showed him. And then I asked him a question, because I never talked politics with him, and I never really want to again either, because he ruined it for me. The guy, he killed it for me. He ruined it for me. But I said, Gary, who's your congressman in your district? He goes, what district? What does that mean? What are you talking about? So yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But anyway, I wanted to say hello to Censored Sergeant. Tammy, how are you? I want to say to Skippy. Achilles Weir, great to see you here. Made in America. LR, great to see you here. Hope you're safe and at home, hopefully. Grim Ben. Yukon Man. Great to see you here, by the way. Papa Woody. Papa Woody says, let's give Trump a hell yeah, brother. Somebody will say that's racist. Tammy is on a tangent. Tammy, I don't know if we've lost Tammy. I don't know. She is really, she's crossed over. We got to reel her back in. Well, you know what though? I'm not, I don't know. Tammy's going to be Tammy. Tammy does, she's not happy with Trump right now. And that's fine. Look, I've always tried to tell that to people. Look, I'm not like what they call, what does they call it? A bootlicker? No. If Trump does something wrong, I'm not going to agree with everything he says. I've said that a million times. I don't even agree with my wife, and I love my wife. I sleep with my wife. I shower with my wife, and I brush my teeth with my wife. I don't go to the bathroom in front of my wife because I think that's just pushing it. I think once you start going to the bathroom in front of your spouse, that's where you end that romance. Like, dude, come on, seriously. There's got to be some hidden mysteries, and whether or not it's natural or not doesn't matter. That doesn't matter at all. If you sit there and go to the bathroom, and you know what bathroom I'm talking about, in front of your wife, dude, I'm no way. Because if my wife did that to me, I've already seen a C-section. We're good, bro. I've seen too much, but I still love her. But dude, there's got to be some of that. I don't need to see that, bro. That's just, it's just, ugh. That's just a no-no for me, bro. That's just a no-no for me. I can't do that. I don't even want to. Now I'm thinking about it. Great. Now I got to get a divorce. It's all over. My channel's falling apart. I'm getting a divorce because I just picture. Oh. Okay, hold on. Yukon Man, Tammy, Skippy, Hank, Grip Van Wrinkled. Look at that. Skippy, LR, Achilles, Teacher Lynn. These people are crazy. Stars here. Ellen Pelkey. Justa. And then we got. I'm sorry I'm talking so much tonight, guys. I really didn't want to, but Teacher Lane, wouldn't that be amazing though? If we just got 5,000 people to donate $1, that would be my problems would be solved, or at least I'd be halfway. And honestly, I can make it work. I mean, it's just but it's not gonna happen because you know what? Listen, my videos aren't that good. If my videos were good, then we could talk. Brian 70 Kuda. There's 32 people. Oh, Erogel. That's all it's showing me. That's it. LR. Let me see, Tammy. So Censored Sergeant. Great to see you here. TDS can't be terminal. And that's the thing too. It's okay to disagree with somebody and still be friends. It's okay. People take politics too seriously. Now, there's a fine line though. There's politics and there's craziness. If you're going to support people like Epstein, yeah, we're not good. There's no reason to be friends. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. So there's differences. And if you're supporting politics that are endangering, I don't know if that's a word or not. I guess endangering America, yeah, we can't be friends. And I'm not going to agree with you at all. There's no way. But it's okay to disagree, but still be civil as long as your disagreements aren't actually hurting anybody. Because if you're sitting there really truly believing because Kamala Harris predicted, okay, well, you do understand that Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, Obama, and the rest of the funky bunch set up what is being played out right now. I hope everybody understands that because there's so much more at play here. Trump is cleaning up a humongous meth lab that was created by all of those people. And I'm not defending anybody. Trump is a big boy and he's a businessman and he's got a lot more money than me and he's more successful and he doesn't beg for money. He just makes money. But I do have to explain to you the difference between cleaning up a mess and making bad decisions. Trump is doing something because it's the right decision. And you have to understand, a lot of people don't really understand that too, is that Trump doesn't know everything. Okay. That's why he has advisors. Okay. And maybe his advisors are not advising him correctly or not, whatever the case. But everything that he's doing until proven otherwise is for a reason. And the reason, the end result, is for our future. It's not just for the now, it's for our future in the long run. Okay. So people that are sitting there saying like, oh yeah, dude, Kamala Harris called it. Dude, Kamala Harris was part of it. She created this domino. And Trump is trying to block the domino. So, and for everybody that's sitting there saying like, peace in the Middle East, you know how long that's been out? You know how long this record has been playing the same exact song? This is just another day. And just because you started following politics now, and because you heard peace in the Middle East, you do realize that was like in every single rap song, or what I like to call old Twitter back in the day before Twitter or social media was out. That's how they manipulated people's minds, was through like people like NWA, Ice-T, and the rest of those people. That's how they got them to brainwash the world before the internet came out. That's how they did it with music. You know, like NWA. A lot of people don't know NWA. What's that? I listen to country. NWA, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Ren, Yellow, what's his name? And then what's that? Dr. Dre. They weren't even gangsters. They weren't even gangsters. They never experienced any of the things that they rapped about. Because if they did, see, this is where reality versus make-believe is hilarious. And then to watch people idolize these people. If they did even a fraction of what they said in their raps, they'd be doing life in prison or the electric chair. If you've ever listened to their tapes or CDs, or now you can just, you know, horrible things. But every white guy in America is like, dude, yeah, man, F the police. Yeah, because these guys told me I want to be a gangster. These guys were not gangsters. Ice-T is an actor. Ice Cube is an actor. And I'm so sick and tired of actors. Oh, dude, he's such a great guy because he supports Trump. Dude, who cares about that crap? Stop idolizing actors. They're paid to entertain you, and that's the end of it. Do not take political advice from any actor, ever. Ever. They're paid to lie. On and off camera. Stop. Doesn't matter if they support you. Doesn't matter if they support Trump. They're actors. This is what they do. I'm sorry. You cannot trust an actor or an actress with anything that has to do with the future of our country or ourselves, because they're going to be paid millions of dollars to support whatever it is they're getting paid to say. I always say this all the time. If you ever want to learn about the corruption, watch Good Morning Vietnam. Now, even though that was a comedy, there were some parts in there that was like, holy shit. But Robin Williams, he was a good speaker, but the difference with him being a radio show host is that he was not only a good speaker, but he had his own thoughts. But they wouldn't let him use his own thoughts. And as soon as they did, as soon as he did, without their, because he locked himself in there and he wanted to let everybody know what was really going on, because they would circle out what he couldn't say and what he could say. And these are things that were actually happening that people, might have, benefited from knowing, but he wasn't allowed to say it. Wyatt Guard. Wyatt Guard. That's actually very interesting. I like that. I'd like to do it. Well, I'm not going to be around much longer, so. But if I was around much longer, I would really like to do a segment on a segment. Look at this idiot. Hey, look at the United Spot over here talking about doing segments. Wow. Well, he begs for money. All right, so yeah, I'm 8 minutes over, but you know what, guys? I don't even care, because you know what? I mean, look, Joe Thanks is here. Joe Thanks, a Caucasian. No, Trump wasn't necessarily an actor. He played parts in movies. He was definitely not a Ronald Reagan. He did little. He was in Richie. I think it was Richie Rich. He was in Home Alone. He's made cameos in like Fresh Prince. Obviously, he was on The Apprentice, which was a reality show. But it's there. The difference with that is that he's not a really good actor. He's not a really good actor. He's a good speaker. He could talk for like 12 hours and then keep going after that. But he's not an actor, and he's a businessman. He makes his money from business, making smart decisions that will benefit. Actors just whatever they get paid to say, that's it, and whatever gets them the most money. That's the difference between an actor and somebody who just does a fill-in, like going on Home Alone and having one line where he points to where the bathroom is or whatever, the front desk. That's not an actor. He's never, ever, ever been an actor, and he's a horrible actor, to be honest, which is a good thing. But he's hilarious. He's got a great sense of humor, and his common sense meter is through the roof. He represents common sense, and obviously he's not perfect. I don't believe anybody that's in business is perfect. You have to do some things, but all in all, I would say he's a good guy. I would say he's a good guy. A lot of people, oh, well, he's been divorced and he's done this, blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Things don't work out. Just because you get divorced doesn't mean you're a bad person. I mean, I think that, a lot of people are jealous of him, they're jealous of his success. They're jealous of what he's done, and I could see that. Being a deciding factor in hating Trump. Oh, he's a billionaire. He has everything he wants. Well, I'm sitting here and I have to suffer and stuff, because I've been trying to watch Jerry Springer and get better at life. But, Trump keeps making money and it just pisses me off. But, I think one of the best quotes I ever heard was a person completely wastes their lives when they come up with a goal and never do anything about it. You waste your whole life, dreaming of something that you want to do and you never capitalize on it. And Trump is the latter. He's the one that went out there and he had a dream and he did it. And you know what? So what that he borrowed $1 million from his father? I mean, geez, I mean, goodness gracious. I mean, you know how many times my parents had to help me out? Yeah, obviously it wasn't $1 million, but it is what it is. He was fortunate enough to where his father had that kind of cash to where he could believe in his son, and then his son paid him back, and he invested wisely. So to each his own. But these arguments that people come up with to hate Trump is ridiculous. And now it's so ridiculous that people are the people that turned on Trump are sitting there siding with Kamala Harris. Jeez. I would rather you side with a dog's leftovers before you side. I mean, goodness great, is that what we become? We become anyways. Oh, I'm sorry. I was supposed to say something after that. Anyways, guys, I'm going to take off. I really appreciate everybody. If anybody wants to make All I Need Is a Miracle, I'm going to try one more time. And you know what? Hey, look, we're getting down to the wire. I understand it's probably not going to happen. But, hey, it is what it, hey, listen. If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be. I got to face facts. And, the people that have donated, thank you so much. I don't know if I should do a refund at the end of the month. I probably should because, I don't know what I should do. But, it's one of those things. But if you're able to, here's the link right there. If you're able to help out, please share it out to your friends and family. Help the United Spot keep going because I got, what is it? Some of you are like, dude, I already know, and I can't wait until it's over. I hate you, United Spot. You suck. I'm just here to watch you fail. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11 days. 11 days. So in 11 days, if you don't hear from me anymore, Well, on the last day, I'm definitely going to say goodbye to everybody. But it's going to suck. Hold on, what is it? Oh, hang on. I got to do the goodnight song. The goodnight song. Oh, gosh. Has that been up there the whole time? Jeez. Okay. United Spot, good night. I don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I might get shared by Elon Musk. I might. I did a video because I've done so many videos. Okay, look, real quick before I go, I know everybody's like, dude, shut the hell up. I'm trying to go to bed. You suck. I have goals as a content creator. And one of my goals, obviously, when I first started doing this, other than making people laugh, was I was like, wouldn't it be awesome if I made a video for President Trump and he saw it? Wouldn't that be amazing? And it happened. It really did. And he played my video at his rallies. And that was an incredible goal. But in order to keep pushing yourself and keep driving yourself, you have to come up with little goals every single day. Well, 3.5 years ago, when Elon bought X or Twitter, I came up with a goal and I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be cool if Elon shared one of my videos? So I started making videos about Elon. I've made so many videos. I could put them all together right now, and the video would be about 2.5 hours long. That's how many videos I made. Well, he's liked 2 of my videos. He hasn't shared. He's liked 2 of my videos, and he uploaded a photo meme that I made. And it was where his head was on his son's body, and his son's head was on his body, and he was giving him a piggyback ride. And that's it. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I got. So 2 likes. But that's what I don't want. I want a share. That's my goal. 1 share. That's all I need. Just 1. That's it. Same with Trump. Like literally, I was totally fine because I don't need any more shares from President Trump. That was it. I got a lifetime of shares. A lot of people are like, oh, dude, I just want to constantly get shared by Trump. Dude, if you get shared once by President Trump, take it and move on to something else because, okay, look, I was shared by President Trump twice on Twitter, 4 times on True Social, and 7 times at his rallies. I'm good. I don't need anything else. I'm fine. Everything's great. Everything is great. But my new goal is to be shared by Elon Musk, 1 share, because that really just ignites a fire. Like just to be, like even when I look at like the people that follow me, like when like Kash Patel followed me, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, it's insane. Because if you look at Kash Patel's follower count, he's got millions of followers, but he's like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like he's only following 300 people out of all these millions of people he's following, and he's following like 300 people, and I'm like, why me? Why me? And it's like the same with like Devin Nunes and Dan Scavino. It's like, I mean, these guys, like, what's going on here, But I don't know. I don't even know what the hell I was. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Getting shared. Because, I mean, it's an amazing feeling to know that you made something for that particular person and they shared it. And that was cool. Well, he hasn't shared any of the videos that I've done for him. So I don't know if he thinks that they're stupid, which is probably true. Or if he's like, dude, is this guy fucking with me? Is this guy like making fun of me? Because I don't do impersonations. That's not my thing. I wouldn't be unique if I did impersonations. I could try to do impersonations. The only one that I do is like when I do Obama, because I sound like Obama. Kind of like that's kind of what like the last thing my chef heard was hope you can swim. But I don't like Nancy. It's like when I do Joe Biden. I'm just wait, squirrel, or Kamala Harris. I don't. They don't necessarily, or they don't. That's how, like when I do President Trump, like I'm sitting here like my fellow Americans, That's how I see President Trump. I see President Trump as a gangster. I see, from New York, he's talking like this, he's got a little, he's got big balls, that's how I see President Trump talking. And so that's how I come up with my voices, like AOC, like Totally Valley Girl, like she thinks from her helmet and she's got like rocks for brains because dishwashers and whatnot. But I and that's how I stay unique because I could probably learn, how to talk like Trump. Very simple. I mean, a lot of people do it. You wouldn't believe how many people can impersonate Trump. And I believe, if I took some time out, I'm sure I could probably do it. Eddie Murphy could impersonate Jim Carrey. I'm sure I could do it. And Joe Biden, I'm sure I could do all of them. But I choose to create their voices. That's what I've always done. Like when I do Adam Schiff, I talk like this because he's a spineless piece of shit. I don't want to get in trouble, but so and like when I do Jerry Nadler, I'm talking like I'm holding in something. When I do Eric Swalwell, fang. So it's how I see these people. And if you look at Eric Swalwell, he looks like a human fart. Like he looks like I was like, how do people look like that? Like Amy Klosterberg. Hi, Amy. But it's just like that's how I see these people, and that's how I do their voices. So, or like Hunter, it's like Hunter is like, it's like it's okay. Look, okay, it's like when you go into like a deli and you see one of my paintings, it's just like for 50 grand. It's like who the fuck does this guy think he is? I'm Hunter Biden. I'm an artist. I'm not laundering money to get Parmesan cheese out of my carpet, bro. I'm just look, all right, the big guy. 10%, Ukraine, dude, Burisma, right? So it's good, dude. Dad, we're out of Parmesan. Gotta get some tinfoil. But so that's how I see people. That's how I talk. Like Barack, that's or like Dad, or like Bill, or like when I talk like Bill Clinton. Me and Monica, man, I tell you, we got some stories about them moist cigars that'll make Nancy Pelosi quiver. Oh, Paul, it's hammer time. But, so anyways, I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about, but I was just, we're coming to the end. United Spot is coming to an end. People just don't like the United Spot enough to, donate $1. That's something I got to live with. And in 20, 30 years, when everybody's forgotten all about the United Spot, I'll sit there in my rocking chair, just finishing my bowl of puddle water ramen noodles and thinking to myself, what could have been if people would have helped out the United Spot with just $1, just $1, 4 quarters, 10 dimes, 20 nickels, 100 pennies, if pennies still existed, and even if you want to get crazy and eventful, they have a silver dollar, or you could rip a $2 bill in half. Here you go, United Spot, you piece of shit. Here, take this. Stupid. Why don't you go get a job? That's what inevitably I'm going to have to do. So it is what it is. I did get a job 8 months ago. I got another job, but they closed down. So life is but a dream. And I really got off topic there. But you know what? Hey. I don't know why it's not listening to me. Dude, I literally tried to stop that 100 times. Maybe one night before I close down the United Spot, maybe I'll just play the whole song. Well, I was tallying up the votes the other night, and something just didn't sit right. So I called up. No, that's the wrong. That's the Joe Biden song. Anyways, all right. So let's see if there's anybody even still there. Nope. Oh, holy shit! I got some donations here. Holy crap! Yukon man, thank you very much. Well, hold on. Thank you very much for this. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. He does too much. He does way too much. LR. Joe, thanks. Joe, thanks over here doing. Hey, I can't even reply to it. Why not? I can't reply to it. Damn it. Joe, thanks. Thank you very much for that. Truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. LR, thank you so much for this. I truly appreciate it. Yukon man, LR, Joe, thanks. Thank you guys so much. Seriously. I really appreciate it. That's pretty awesome. Jeez, that's pretty awesome. Thank you guys. Seriously, that's unreal. Thank you guys. Just it means a lot. So, and I want you guys to know that I will miss this. I want you guys to know that I will miss that. But I do want to thank you guys for the support. The donations, like I said, are extremely appreciated. If you're able to do that, it means so much to me. But I truly appreciate all you guys, because one way or another, you guys have fought for the United Spot when no one else would. You show up here in the lives, you come to my videos, my channel, you check in, say hello. And I hope you understand, whether you've given donations or memberships or super thanks, or just watched the video and shared it with a friend, or left me a comment. I really hope you understand how much I appreciate that. So it's because I love doing this so much. That's why it's so important to me to keep going, because this is something that it's not just a hobby. It's not just something that I do. It's something that's become a part of me. I mean, it's like when you sit there and try to explain what I do, people are like, they just throw it off, which is fine. I mean, but just to create one video, the amount of work that goes into creating just one video, and it's become a part of me. It's become like a rhythm. Like I know exactly what I'm like. Somebody playing the piano or somebody playing the guitar, I know exactly what I'm doing. And when I come up with an idea for a video, like it's just, obviously it takes a lot of work, takes a lot of thinking, it takes a lot of research, but it's something that I feel that I'm good at, and that I continue to get better at. And it's just, that's something that, and I don't think that I like begging for money. I hope you really don't think that I enjoy doing it. Obviously, when I don't need to beg for money, I make a joke about it. It's funny and ha, whatever. But it's not something that I truly enjoy to do. I mean, obviously, even though I am creating content, it's not something that I'm like, wow, I'm really proud of myself that I begged today. I'm just hoping that YouTube. I did contact YouTube today, and they did get back to me and said that they're doing a thorough investigation on my channel, to find out exactly what happened back in 2022 of December. That has been a plague on my channel since 2022. And I'll find out what's going on. So, anyways, hang on here real quick. So Tammy, have a great night. Yukon man, seriously, thank you again, and have a great night. Brian, have a great night. Skippy, have a great night. Ellen Pelkey, have a great night. Loners get bond. Wait, what? Yeah, I'm just like, wait, what? Censored Sergeant, have a great night. Joe, thanks. Thank you again. Have a great night. Skippy, have a great night. Tammy's a poet, and you didn't know it. Wyatt Guard, have a great night. Joe, thanks again. Have a great night. Yukon man, have a great night. I think I said that. UConn man, thank you very much, and have a great night. Papa Woody, have a great night. It is so dude. John Castaneda, look at you over here. Have a great night. I don't know if I missed you earlier. I didn't see you there. So thank you for being here tonight. Have a great night, John Castaneda. Daniel C., if you're lurking out there, have a great night. Robin Spielman, if you're lurking out there. Annette Poison, if you're lurking out there, have a great night. Censored Sergeant, have a great night. LR, thank you so much, and have a great night too. Thank you. Achilles Weir, have a great night. Teacher Lynn, have a great night. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. Justa, have a great night. And that's it. That's all, folks. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. And enjoy your weekend, Saturday and Sunday. And I'll be back on Monday with some more amazing content. So anyways, I love you guys. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. And I will see you all on Monday. Nancy, take it away.
Yes. Nobody cares. Obama, you're an asshole. Lies and racism your whole life. Your legacy is pathetic, and a man calls himself your wife. Bartender, can I get a drink? Yes, you're an A-S-S-H-O-L-E, and don't you try to blame it on me. You deserve all the credit. You're an asshole tonight. You were an asshole yesterday. You're an asshole tonight. And I got a feeling you'll be an asshole the rest of your life.
That's true. Good night, Star. And good night, everybody that supports United Spot. I love you guys, and I'm going to leave you with this. UConn man, have a great, blessed weekend, everyone. He always knows the right thing to say. I love all of you guys. Please be safe, have fun, laugh, enjoy your weekend with family and friends, and please be back here on Monday. That's an order. I love you guys, and until we meet again. Oh, I did that wrong. Until we meet again. Good night, peasants.